I love it, Noble. Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. Mike going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go in such a weak AFC South? Unless we have the NBA Blowout Association.
Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13 seconds.
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
What is up, my friends? I think I was muted there. So what I was saying before was happy opening day to you guys, man. We have been absolutely on fire here on the channel. It is your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm bringing down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Who is excited right now? I mean, it is like the best time of year. We've got football, we've got basketball. I mean, we've got not football, we got baseball. I mean, it's just great. And opening day is here. I'm super pumped up. I've got a whole lot of things to cover today because I've got basketball, I've got baseball, I've got college, I've got NBA. So we've got a lot to cover. So my goal is to go through this video very, very fast. I'm going to give you guys a lot of plays. I know it's typically 3 plays. I'm going to give you guys a few bonus extra today because I'm feeling good. And we've been going light over the last few days. Yesterday, officially on action, we had a 1-0 day, but we really did go 1-1 because I gave you guys Kyle Kuzma 15 plus points and Jaylen Brown 20 plus points. If you lock that in early before the injury, then lucky for you. But then Kyle Kuzma sold us anyway, so we lost the bet. That really pissed me off. I don't know what that dude was doing. Literally 6 of 7 Bucks players scored 15 plus points, and the one dude who didn't want to get 15 plus points was the guy we bet on. So that was a little bit unfortunate. But James Harden, hopefully you guys were able to cash in that no sweat winner with us, and then also ladder that one up. I laddered him 25 plus and 30 plus. I was hoping he got that 30 plus at plus 500, but we ended at 29, so we still got James Harden done yesterday. So overall, a really good day. I tweeted out how we've been doing here on the channel. It's been really good, guys. Over the last 30 days, we're up close to $2,500. And the thing that I'm most happy about with this is the fact that we're betting like $100 units, only 1 unit and only $100. So you don't have to have a huge bankroll. You don't have to have a ton of money to do this. You see guys out here who say have a 10 unit max or like putting $10,000 on a play. You don't have to do that to make money betting, okay? If you just take it consistently, if you just take your time and you choose your spots, it might work out in your favor. And that's what we've been able to do here on the channel. Over the last several days, you can see here, we're still down over the last 7 days. Why? Because we started off the tournament in a little bit bad, but we've strung together 4 straight winning days here on the channel. We can see 4 straight winning days that we've had. So things have been working in our favor, but now is where we load up because we've been doing 1 play, 2 plays, a future here, a future there. But now is where we load up a lot of plays because we have a ton of action. Good morning, Day. Good to see you in the building, fam. Good to see you. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys NBA action. I'm going to give you guys college basketball action, and I'm going to give you MLB opening day action, okay? So here we go. MLB opening day, a ton of games on the board today. Brewers, Yankees, Orioles, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Rangers, a lot to break down. If you guys want my Nerfie of the day, we're going to be doing Nerfies here on the channel, but I will give a Nerfie of the day for mostly every single day I can, and that is going to be on my TikTok. Same name at Noble Living. You can see right there below. Follow us there. I'm going to be giving out my Nerfie of the day. My goal is to do a money line Nerfie of the day, so we can ladder it very similar to like what we've been doing over here with our bankroll builders. And my goal is to do like a Nobu Nerfie, really hit like 4 in a row, be able to turn like $100 into like $1,000 or whatever, and then kind of spin the wheel again. That's a kind of a concept or a theory that I'm kind of trying to put together. We'll test it out. But Nerfies, if you've been tapped in for a while, you guys know Nerfies are my thing. Come to the TikTok to get that, all right? Today's games, the first best bet I'm going to lock in, guys, real quick. I don't have a ton of analysis for you on this one, but I'm going to go Red Sox on the money line today, and we're going to do that to win 1 unit. Now, the Red Sox are loaded this season. They're one of the teams that, both of these teams really, the Red Sox and the Rangers. Now, I know yesterday I told you guys that we're going to take a future on the Rangers to go over 85.5 wins. I do like that, but like I said, if you can get that plus value, I like it more. One bet that I am going to lock in, I locked it in earlier on action here, was the Rangers to win their division at plus 200. So I really like that. So I do like both of these teams. I'm high on both of these teams. But if we go look at the pitching matchup that we have between these two guys this year, is Garrett Crochet and Nathan Eovaldi. Now, Crochet is the big offseason signing for the Red Sox as he came over from the White Sox. And you know that Crochet, he's one of the most dominant big men in the game in terms of, like, he's tall, he's got a very long release, he's a dominant pitcher. He just so happened to be on a terrible team. right? I mean, now he's on a good team. A lot of people have high hopes for this Red Sox team this offseason. Why? Because of the acquisitions that they were able to get, like Crochet, but also like Alex Bregman. That's going to lead to another bet. I don't have a graphic for you guys, but a future that I do want you to lock in is Alex Bregman. Let's go to MLB Futures real quick. Let's go to home runs, MLB most regular season home runs, and let's just type in Alex here. And we don't have first names, so let's go Bregman. Oh, that's the home run leader. Let's go for home runs, total home runs right here. And we're going to take Alex Bregman over 21.5 home runs. If you get 22.5 at plus value, I'm not opposed to that. We're going to lock in this future. We're going to go a half unit on this. It's 55. We'll go 60 because it's at minus 105 or 55. Yep, let's do that. So we're locking this in for half a unit. Now, Alex Bregman, I think, is bound for a huge season for the Red Sox. Let's look at his numbers real quickly here on StatMuse. You can see last season for the Astros, he had 26 home runs to go with 7 RBIs. I'm looking right here in the middle. But if you look at him historically over his career, I mean, we've seen him hit 41 home runs. We've seen him hit 31 home runs. He had 25 the year before that, 23 the year before that. He dealt with injuries these 2 years in 2020 and 2021, 91 games, 42 games. And we know the big offseason kind of like controversy was Rafael Devers saying that third base is my spot. He's not going to come and take my spot. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Listen, Alex Bregman's coming off of a Gold Glove. He needs to be at the third base because Devers makes way too many errors there. But Devers can just sit in the dugout, chew his hog, and hit home runs. That's what they need him for. And that's why we're very high on this Red Sox team. Their team total is a little bit too high for me. So I'm going to look to take them at several times throughout the season. I think this is a good chance for us because Nathan Eovaldi, he's been good. But if you look at his numbers, if we go look at Nathan Eovaldi real quickly, he struggled around like the back half of the season last year. If we look real quickly at his finish with a 3.8 ERA, but 12-8 on the road, he had a 4.0 ERA, and it just wasn't the same Eovaldi that we saw from like kind of when he was dominant when they went on that World Series run. So we want to see a lot more from the Reds, from both of these teams actually this season as a whole. But I like the Red Sox to get us started here on opening day. I like the pitching matchup. I like the offensive weapons that they've added. They're expected to win more games in this campaign as well. So this is where they're going to get it started. All right. Second best bet of the day. Let's go over to and we got our future of the day, or future with Alex Bregman as well. We're going to go to the NBA real quick, and we're going to go look at this matchup between the Mavericks and the Magic here, and I'm going to go Mavericks team total over 105.5. Now, this is just a play that we've been taking a look at pretty recently because we've been getting the Magic and we've been looking at the Mavericks. The Mavericks have been an over cash cow machine. If we go to Doing Sports real quick, we can go look at the team total for the Mavericks. First thing before we look at that, let me take a zoom out here real quickly. I want you to see here over the last 5 games for the Mavericks, right? First, they've gone over their total in 5 straight games. Over 226 against the Knicks, over 217.5 against the Brooklyn, 232 against the Pistons. So if you just want to take the over, I'm not opposed to that. For the Magic as well, they've gone over in 4 of the last 5 games as well. Over against the Hornets, over against the Lakers, over against the Wizards. So you can see why I'm liking the overall over at 218.5 to begin with. Now, if we look at the Mavericks here, you can see they've gone over this team total in 9 of the last 10 games. They're averaging 118 points per game. The only time they went under was against the Rockets here, where they scored 96 points. And then you see Magic defensively, 5 of the last 10 teams have gone over, and they're on average giving up about 108 points per game. So we're getting 105.5. We know the Mavericks have a ton of injuries. Anthony Davis is supposed to be playing today, but then also the Magic defensively are not the same like we saw at the beginning of the season. Why? Because one of their best defensive players in Jalen Suggs is done for the season. So because of that, they have to now adjust, and they're not as like they were holding teams to under 100 points. Now, one, I think you can do that in the beginning of the season, not later on in the season, because I think defenses adjust. You just get more tired, more fatigued. There's several reasons. But then also, when you're missing a key defensive player like Jalen Suggs, come on now, and you're giving us 105.5 points, where I think the Mavericks game plan right now is, let's see if we can just outscore you and keep up. It's burned them when they face strong offensive teams like the not the Mavericks, the Knicks here at 128, but when against the Spurs, they outscored them 133 to 129. So you can see here that they're trying to score a lot of points. They're playing fast. We like it, and I'm going to keep taking it as long as we keep getting a low number. So Dallas Mavericks, team total over 105.5. I like the over in this game as well. Let's lock this in. Now, because I like the Mavericks, it's obviously going to draw my attention to one of their players, and that's Mr. Najee Marshall. You know, last time we took him for 15-plus points, and I'm going to run that back today. But I'm going to get a little bit cute with it because it's opening day in the MLB, and I want to have a little bit of fun. So we're going to go Najee Marshall, 15-plus points here, but then we're going to also add Justin Steele for 2-plus earned runs. Now, Justin Steele is the starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, and the beautiful part about this is because it's opening day, we got to see him already pitch inside that Tokyo series against the Dodgers, and he did not look good at all. He hasn't looked good in any of his spring training starts, in all honesty, and he's not having this command. And the issue when you see pitchers like Justin Steele having trouble, and when they were having trouble, you want to keep hammering them and keep taking advantage of it, because he's a ground ball pitcher. If you're a ground ball pitcher and you're not getting ground balls, there is an issue. That means that your pitches are not sinking. That means your rotation is not there. That means you're tipping your pitchers. That means the hitters are reading off of you. And if you don't have your ground balls, you have nothing, right? You have nothing. Think about like Corbin Burns when he struggles, when that's because he's a ground ball pitcher, and that means his pitches are not sinking. And that's what Justin Steele is dealing with right now, and he's dealing with a very strong D-backs offense, which added some key offseason pieces as well. And then Zach Gallen's on the mound for them. There's a lot of high hopes around this D-backs team. I don't think they can compete with the Dodgers in the NL West, but they're definitely a wild card team, and I think that we should be able to get a win today, or at least runs with them today. So for me, I'm going to go Justin Steele over 1.5 earned runs. If you parlay that with Najee Marshall, 15-plus points, you can see here that gets us a plus 110. Good money line, good little bankroll builder. If you want to take a look at Najee Marshall real quickly, again, I know I'm trying to go through these plays a little bit quick. I'm going to get into the Sweet 16. Trust me, I'm excited. We're going to get into the Sweet 16. But Najee Marshall right here, he scored 15 points in 10 straight games. You see, he just came off a 38-point performance against the Knicks. We had him in that game. Is some regression due? Probably. The Magic are strong defensively against the small forward position. But the way he's been shooting for me, and the consistency and the minutes that he's getting and the usage, the volume's going to be there. We just got to get him to hit the points. And like I said, Jason Kidd, he's more of an offensive-minded coach. He's getting them out in transition. They're playing faster. I like that. And then again, you saw Justin Steele. That's what we're going to lock in there. Now, to the Sweet 16 we go. We're going to talk a little bit about these games. I'm going to take a little bit of something and everything, but I'll tell you officially like what my lean is, what I think is going to happen here, okay? It's so crazy because I'm still alive in a survivor pool, and I've used Alabama, I've used Florida, I've used Texas Tech. So it's either I have to take Duke or Arizona today, Arkansas, Maryland, or BYU. And I will say I do think that we are going to get an upset. It has been a chalky tournament, let's be honest, but I do think that we're going to get an upset today. But the first thing that we're going to do is not even worry about the upset. We're going to worry about teams getting off to a very fast start. So what I'm going to do is the first one I'm going to lock in is Florida on the money line, Duke on the money line, but we're going to go first half money line, not full game. First half money line for both of these teams. Now, Maryland has started off the tournament slow in all of their games. If we go, we're going to pull up their game log here in 1 second, but let me just pull this up for Duke so you guys can see the odds value that we're getting on this one. Florida money line, Duke money line, that gets you to minus 115. So we don't get all the way to plus 100 there, but you know, it's it could be worse. So let's go here real quickly. I just want to pull up Maryland real fast. I just want you guys to look at this. So against Colorado State, I had taken them in the first half, and they were trailing that by 7 points, 37-30, right? Against Grand Canyon, they did get started off to a little bit of a slow start, but they were able to pick it up and get to a 12-point first half lead. Now they take on Florida, and I think Florida, for us, we get an advantage here because Florida's already had their scare, right? We saw them last game have to play from behind for the majority of the game, but they're the best offensive team in the country, and we saw that. And they have the professional scorer in Walter Clayton. He is a professional scorer. He can score from anywhere in the court. He can get you any type of way. He can shoot the long range with consistency and range. He has somebody in his face. It doesn't matter. He can get to the bucket and finish with contact. I mean, he is like that. I think Maryland can win this game, but I don't want to do it because we have a Final Four future on them, and I don't want to be emotional and hedge and everything like that. Florida's the best team, but we also have a future on Florida to win the national championship as well. So for me, why don't we just take the first half, get Florida to jump out to a quick lead, which they've been able to do. They were tied in the first half in their last game, but I think, again, they know like what's coming their way. And we've seen Maryland, they were not able to stop Colorado State, if we're being honest. Colorado State just shot like 5 of 23 from the 3-point line. So if Colorado State hits a few more 3-pointers, and people are talking about Dairy Queen traveled, I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying Maryland they were on the right side of the buzzer beater for once, and lucky for them. But this is going to be their biggest test. This is the best team that they're going to face. And for me, I think Florida wins this game, but I'm just going to take them on the first half money line. Now, Duke, same thing. Arizona, their offense is good enough to beat Duke. But Duke, they are the favorites to win the tournament right now, and rightfully so. They look amazing. Cooper Flagg does not look like he's having any ankle injuries or any problems. He's dominant, and that's why I want them to get out to a first-half lead. They've been able to win the first half of every single game thus far in the tournament in sizable fashion. If we go pull it up, Duke, real quickly, we can take a look at this. Last game against Baylor, they won that game by 33. They're covering the spread. They were up by 17 at halftime. And again, Baylor was around for the first, 10 minutes of that half. So that tells you how explosive this Duke team is. They can just turn it on like that. And obviously against Mount St. Mary's, they're up 54-28. So this is going to be a good test for them against Arizona, a team that is fast. Obviously, we know about the Caleb Love thing dating back to his days in North Carolina. I think he's 5-4 against Duke in his career. So I don't want to play the full game just in case there's an upset. I don't have anything in this Duke and Arizona game. Even though I do think Arizona should cover the 9.5. But I'm just going to play the first half money line. Duke first half, Florida first half. 2 favorites. Don't have to worry about the upset alert. And if one of them are trailing and you feel like you need a hedge to get out, now you have the full game to hedge off of. Take Florida half. Maybe the game is still close to where you can take them in full game and Duke full game. Or we still have Texas Tech. You still have baseball. You still have a few ways to pivot. So that's why we're taking the first half money line here instead of the full game money line. All right? So we've got a few best bets done. Let me do a quick recap real fast. We got a few more people who tapped into the live. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Covering a lot of action here. Real fast, we got the Red Sox on the money line. That game starts at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got Dallas over 105.5. We've got Najee Marshall 15-plus points and Justin Steele over 1.5 earned runs. And then we've got Florida first half and Duke first half. Now, the last best bet of the day is going to be cheeky. You guys are not going to like it. Oops, my hat here hitting the damn crane and shit. You guys are not going to like it, but I want to have fun. And I like the odds on it. It's my bankroll builder of the day. But also, it's all the teams that I think are going to cover the original spread. So if you want to take the bet on the original spread, be my guest. Here we go. This is going to be my teaser of the day, 6 points. We're going to take BYU up from 5.5. We're going to take 6 points, up 11.5. We're going to take same thing with Arkansas to up 11.5. And then we're going to go to the NBA, and we're going to take the OKC Thunder down from 10.5 point favorites to right under 3.5. If you do a teaser of 6 points on this one, let's see if they will show me here because they got this at +4. I can see if I can, okay, I'll have to manually put it in here. It will get you to +125 odds, and that's on Bovada. So if I cook it up on DraftKings real quick, let's see what we can get real quickly here. Give me 1 second. So you guys can just see, do not do the sweetheart teaser. If you add an extra game to this, do not do the sweetheart teaser because if it pushes, you will lose, okay? So we got Arkansas +5.5. What is going on here? Where are the other games? Give me the Thunder -10. And then DraftKings decides they don't want to have up lines. Okay, but anyway, you can see with Maryland, we'll just do it with Maryland real quick so you guys can just kind of see what it's going to look like here. So we're going to go the 6 point. Okay, so this one only allows you to do 5 points on DraftKings. You can do 6 points. So play around with either 5 points or 6 points. I'm fine with it, but I want to get this up to like Arkansas +10. I want to get this like under 5. That's fine. And then up to 11.5 or 10.5 for BYU. Now, the reason why I'm taking this teaser, guys, is because I believe that all the teams cover their spread. I just don't want to necessarily play with it. If there's going to be an upset for me, and I'm going to plug in this bet manually, it's going to be BYU over the Crimson Tide. And I'm going to put about a quarter of a unit or a half a unit on BYU on the money line here. And the reason why I like BYU here is because if there's any offense that can beat Alabama, it's BYU. They run a pro-style offense. Real quickly, let me go to KenPom real fast, and we can go look at BYU real fast. So you guys can look at some of these numbers. They're 9th in offensive efficiency, 6th in effective field goal percentage, 28th in three-point percentage, 6th in two-point percentage, and they're pretty solid defensively as well, 72 on the defensive side, and they crash the offensive board as well. So you can see down the stretch of the season, they played their best basketball. The only game they've lost literally since the beginning of February was to Houston. Is that really that disrespectful and bad to say, to lose to Houston? No. And then Alabama is banged up, in all honesty. And if you look at the draw for BYU, you're licking your chops because you got VCU, a defensive-minded team that can't hit a lot of shots. You got Wisconsin, which is a three-point shooting team, which is going to try to outscore you, which they did, 91-89. And now you got an Alabama team that's going to do the same exact thing, try to play up and down the court, shoot a lot of three-pointers, number one in tempo, fourth in adjusted efficiency. But they do better. You can see Alabama's 116th in three-point percentage. BYU's better offensively than Alabama is. Alabama just plays fast. So if you're going to play fast and give the better offense more chances, what now? Now, obviously, Alabama's a little bit better defensively, 29th in defensive efficiency, 35th in effective field goal percentage, but they don't turn over anybody. And again, this is an NBA pro-style type of offense. And I think this fits right into what BYU is trying to do. We saw the total go from 171 all the way up to 175. Like, people are expecting points. And if you're expecting points, the game should be close. 5.5, take it. I'm taking the teaser up to 10.5, and I'm taking BYU on the money line. I think that BYU can beat Alabama today. I think the injuries catch up to beat Alabama at some point. If they win, they win. Kudos to them. But I like BYU to cover. I like BYU in the teaser. Now, Arkansas is the team of destiny for this year. I'm going to be on the hype beast train. I'm riding with the underdog. And the only reason why is look at Texas Tech's walk to the tournament or to this point in the tournament, and look at Arkansas's walk at this point in the tournament. And tell me which team is more motivated to play and which team is getting healthy as well. Texas Tech, they've beaten UNC Wilmington, and they beat Drake. No disrespect to either of these teams, right? And again, 10-point game, 13-point game, and this was a lot closer of a game than this score is indicating. And same thing here. UNC Wilmington got this thing within 2 possessions, about 7 minutes left to go. Now, look at Arkansas's path here. Kansas and St. John's. Again, tell me, after a heartbreaking loss to an Ole Miss team that's still in the tournament, which team do you think has the more confidence? And for me, Texas Tech exploited the height and advantage that they had with Drake. And that's why JT Toppin went crazy. But he's 6'9". Shout out to JT Toppin. He can hoop. But guess what Arkansas's top guy is? Tiaro, 6'8". Guess what Ifajich is? 7'2". The key is they just got to stop freaking fouling. Jonas Adu, who's familiar and a veteran to the tournament, remember his days with Tennessee, 6'11". Brazil, who's not really a defensive guy, but he can give you some size in the help side, 6'10". They can match up with this Texas Tech team. I'm going to be honest. I haven't been high on Texas Tech. I know some people have been saying they're a Final Four team. I get it. I think the injuries have to catch up to one of these teams at some point. And Arkansas has been playing some of their best basketball. Calipari's doing some of his best motivating and some of his best work. And it's hard to bet against them right now. Do they make it all the way to the Final Four? I'm not saying that. But I do think that they can win this game as well today. I would sprinkle a little bit of a half unit on them as well. But these are all live game triggers as well. Texas Tech gets out to a league and I can get Arkansas plus 10.5, 9.5. I'm doing it. Same thing with BYU, but that's why I'm doing it in a teaser. And then finally, OKC Thunder. They are taking on the Memphis Grizzlies today. And if we go, let's just do this real quick. OKC Thunder versus Grizzlies. You will see that this season, when the Thunder have played the Grizzlies, well, I guess they're just showing me this one to me here. They've beaten. There's no John Morant, number one. Thunder are 9-1 in their last 10 games. But also, I was trying to look for like the head-to-head. Whatever. I was trying to look for the head-to-head. But basically, the the Thunder have destroyed the Grizzlies every time they've played them this season, and they've covered the spread every time. The Thunder aren't playing right now, and they're covering. So that's a plus 100 little 3-team steam. If you want a money, it's not a money line parlay because like I like the underdogs here, so that's why I had to kind of do the teaser to get some value. But that's what I'm going with. That's what we're locking in today, guys. All right. So on today's episode of the Free Three, a quick recap of everything that we have done on the channel for today. Opening day of the MLB. We've got the Red Sox on the money line. And then we're going to go Dallas Mavericks team total over 105.5. I do like the over in that game as well. We're going to go Najee Marshall 15 plus points. Bro has been on a tear. Justin Steele over 1.5 earned runs. He has to show me something, and he's been showing me that right now he doesn't have the best of form. We're going to go for our 2 first half parlay with Florida and Duke. And then we're going to go with a 6-point teaser, or 5 points if your book does that. Arkansas, BYU, and OKC. The goal with BYU and Arkansas is to get to double digits. And then the goal with OKC is just to get them from double digits down to about 2 to 3 buckets there. All right. That's the goal. This parlay gets you to plus 120. So we're getting a whole lot of value here on the card. You can see we're not laying a whole lot of juice. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Arkansas on the money line as well. And then if you want my Nerfy of the day, I'm about to film that right now for you guys. I'm going to post that on my TikTok at Noble Living for you guys to be able to check that out. All right. We got a lot of Nerfy games on. If you tapped into the live show, I do appreciate you. I'll give you guys an early Nerfy real quick that I locked in. I made some money on some KBO today. If anybody likes some Korean baseball, let me know. I'm trying to get back in my bag over there. But let me go to my open bets. All right, so one of the earlier Nerfies that I locked in was in the Phillies and Nationals and the Red Sox Rangers. But that is not the Nerfy. That is not the Nobu Nerfy of the day. The Nobu Nerfy of the day will be on the TikTok. But if you do want an early Nerfy and you tapped into the live show, I do appreciate you. And you can lock in either the Braves Padres Nerfy, or you could do the Red Sox, Rangers, Phillies, Nationals. Those are 3 Nerfies I do like for today on opening day. All right. Appreciate you guys. Man, let's have a day, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow, celebrate the Sweet 16, and then we'll move on to the Elite 8. All right, guys? As always, dictate your fate, get to that cheddar, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. Later, gang.